Hi all, welcome back to Cessna Home Cockpit. Yeah, as you can see, it's not a Cessna anymore. It is an F-16 built replica cockpit. It's based on an F-16. It's not accurate, but I'm trying to improve it over the couple of months, weeks, years. I don't know how long it will take. What you see is the status as of today. I started a few weeks ago, so it's just very early work in progress. For me, it's just testing out how things work, how I can program. So it's not it doesn't represent the final build, but it's a start, and I can use it to test and to fly. Most parts of the cockpit are from the Cessna. Unfortunately, the Cessna I had to move, and I built the Cessna, so I couldn't disassemble it, so I had to demolish it, and it's a pity, but now I've built an F-16 cockpit in my new home, and it's possible it's very easy to set it up and to transport it, and so that's for me better solution. Yeah, so this is the first video of actually the third, I think, but the first one, which I give some comments. As you can see, some systems work, some systems don't work. It's all work in progress, and I will let you see what at the moment does work and what doesn't work. I use F4toserial as software, and the F4toserial is freeware, very good program to use Arduino boards for connect the SIM F4 BMS with, for instance, the DAT and other lights. It's also connected to the gauges over here, so they actually work. Because I chose for F4toserial because the developer is at the moment starting to make the interface compatible with DCS, so I can use both Falcon 4 BMS and digital combat simulations from Eagle Dynamics, and that's what what my intention was. Also, all buttons and switches in the cockpit are just a joystick inputs, so I can easily switch from one sim to another sim, and that's one of the main design demands I had. If you look at where I stand now, basically the whole sim is run on one single laptop. I connected two triple heads to go digital edition add-ons, and on those two digital edition triple head to goes, I connected 6 monitors. The 3 monitors for the view, the main view is one example, and the other example are the 3 monitors which are connected to the left multifunction display, the right multifunction display, and the center display. The display in the middle here is actually an iPad, which I use with dual display to display the gauges. This one at the left top is an old Cytec FIP. I'm planning to replace that, and on the right side, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, I have a USB monitor from Asus for example the warning lights and APU fuel, the clock, and other gauges. For the backlights, I made my own panels. I used a cheap laser cutter from China. I think it's the K40. So I painted some acryl, one side white, other side black, and I engraved it so I can make my own panels. On the left one I have a demo panel with very bright LEDs behind it, which is green, and on the right side I have engraved a panel with and put some white LEDs behind it, and I'm just thinking what I should do. As you can see, there's still a lot of work here. There's some light leaking through. The monitors aren't adjusted, they don't fit properly, so that's a lot of work to do. But the most of the things you see do actually work. For instance, if I set allow, you can see that the display on the DAT works. Also the MFDs work. The joystick works, obviously. The lights for the angle of attack work, but I have to make some lenses. Also the warning lights work. They're not the right color and not the right lenses, but they work. And yeah, so it's basically it's a cockpit which works, and the important parts do run, and but I still have a long way to go to improve them. For me, it was important that the immersion was very good, so I used 3 monitors, which I connected and placed them very close to the border of the canopy, so it looks like you are really in a cockpit. Unfortunately, you see the bezels of the monitors, and that's something I have some ideas to improve that, but well, it takes some time to do that. So basically, this is my new project, cockpit from F-16. It is, I think it's more of a challenge for me to build this than the Cessna, because the Cessna actually was one big flat plate with monitors behind it, and this is far more challenging with all the curves and angles and etc. So that's why I like this more. Also, it's more you have more opportunities or more challenging flights to do. I am not an expert in flying yet, so I still have to learn. I'm going to try if I can land the F-16 now. As you can see, I'm far too high, so I'm gonna reduce the throttle a little bit and see if I can make a right pattern and then land on the runway. And then you can see, I hope, the warning lights and the AOA indexer, so that they really work. Yeah, basically it's just yeah, it's a nice setup. It's not expensive. I think a lot of people think that it's very expensive to build something like this, but this didn't cost me a lot of money because I only used cheap materials and only things I already owned. So it's not very. There's an old iPad, for instance, an iPad 1. So you can't use it actually for anything else than Duet to display the gauges, and so it's not that expensive, this cockpit. I printed a lot of the parts myself, 3D, and a 3D printer nowadays is also not that expensive, so I highly recommend buying such a printer if you are planning to build a cockpit, because I couldn't do it without it. Let's see if I can make a sharp turn. Doesn't look very good, but you can see the AOA indexer is working. It's now red. Let's see if I can make it down the runway. I still have my old rudder pedals, so I don't have the fancy Thrustmaster pedals. Would love to have them, but I think they're more expensive than the whole cockpit at the moment, so it doesn't justify it to buy this right now. Let's see. So I don't have the rudder installed, so I can't use it at the moment, and I don't have my toe brakes, so I think the landing will be quite challenging. So I go a little bit too low, so I can use some air brake. No, for landing without rudder pedals it isn't that bad, but I can't brake, so well, you get the idea.